Guys, welcome to Onelife Podcast. Here with Harry. He's a personal trainer in Las Vegas at VVS Training.
Yes,
welcome,
sir.
Man. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate you for having me.
I've met a couple of your friends lately.
Yeah.
They've been amazing to talk to. So I'm excited to talk to you.
Oh, hopefully I could say whatever I have to say.
Share some background.
Exactly.
I want to know why are you passionate about fitness? Like, why do you do personal training? Why are you passionate about it? I feel like it takes a certain type of person to want to do what you do.
So I'm very passionate on it because based off of my past, that was the only thing stable for me.
What do you mean by?
So in my past, I wasn't the best kid, but I wasn't the worst kid. I was just going in and out of like juvenile hall, just not focused.
Okay.
And from there, every time I got my first gym membership at I think you're eligible at 13 and a half.
Okay.
So I got a gym membership. And then from there, I would go with my big brother. My big brother is not my biological brother, but he would pick me up every single day after school. And then we just stay there. That was the least amount of trouble I would be in because that was the one thing that was
focused.
So, yeah.
How cool is that? I love
you get
that.
what I'm saying? And
even at that early age.
And it translates to my age right now.
How much older was your brother?
He's 2 years older than me. He passed away last year.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
He passed away last year from a heart attack.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry.
So from there, but with everything, with all the experience, it's just now I do it for him. I do it for.
I was gonna say you must like such a blessing to have a brother like that.
Yes, sir.
Who's put you in the realm and the right direction.
Yes, sir.
Could you say he was responsible for that?
I could 1,000%.
That's amazing.
Because from there, he gave me the direction, and then he told me play your part, do this, and then you can put yourself in a position to this, and then you can put yourself in. It's like a
stepping stone, right?
Exactly.
Dude, that's amazing. It's so sad, but it's also so It's so nice to be able to have that.
And then just accepting it.
What type of trouble are you getting in, and how are you getting yourself in trouble at such an early age?
Just it was the environment that I was in.
Like the people you're hanging out with.
Yeah, people if you tell me, if I tell you, I'll show you who you are based off of your friends.
Yeah, show me your friends. I'll show you your future.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dan Panner.
Same exact concept. So just the crowd I was in.
What part of Vegas are you in?
I was still in the south side, southwest side.
Okay, so it wasn't necessarily a bad area.
It wasn't necessarily a bad area, but it was just the stuff that I would get into.
Okay.
It would be just there. I would go for a little bit, come back. But because it felt like a vacation. You didn't have to go to school.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean? So
it's funny how gym can take so much time away from temptation of doing something stupid to doing something positive.
Exactly.
Like the amount of time, I'm 42, been in the gym 5 days a week for 25 years now. That's a lot of hours where I could have been doing dumb stuff.
Exactly.
But I've been focused, lifting weights, focusing on diet, and everything positive.
It's all energy.
That.
So if you think about it, if you can put so much into negative energy, you could do so much more with positive energy. So from there, it's just a mentality. If you feel like you want to keep going negative, it's just going to keep going down and down. But reverse it, it's put the same amount of energy into a positive, you're just going to go up and up and up.
It's kind of like a domino effect, right?
It is.
Good or bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that because then you get your training, start developing habits, discipline, your food gets better.
It's the little things.
Your habits become better.
Exactly.
You start building on that.
That's why I'm a lifestyle coach, because I want people to understand you're not just going to do this for 3 months. You'll get habits within going extreme. Like if you're locked in for 3 months, you're going to get habits out of this 3 months and put it into your life. So
I love that lifestyle coach. I feel like that is so important because it's mindset.
It is.
It's physical. It's emotional. It's so much more than just dropping 10 pounds.
1,000%.
Yeah. Okay.
You gain more from that. And then the extra additional is that 10 pounds that you had lost.
The bonus, right?
That's the bonus. That's all it is.
You're setting I think Ricky touched on this. You're setting someone up to succeed overall. And I work for myself. I've always worked for myself. And I feel like the discipline, the mindsets come from training, dieting, consistency applies 100% to business too.
1,000%.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
You can twiddle your thumbs, make excuses.
There's always a plan.
I can't lose weight. I can't get clients. Or you can literally man up, woman up, take accountability and do something about it, because no one else is going to do it for you.
No.
And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you start changing your life.
Exactly.
And it's we're in this like victim mentality in this like you're a lot younger than I am, but this instant gratification, social media, everyone's killing it, but no one's really seeing behind the scenes of that.
Exactly.
And it creates this like distorted effect on life, on how things really work.
Exactly.
So yeah, I love what you're saying.
Yeah.
What as far as like being a lifestyle coach, what does that entail? Like,
so
if I'm a new client for you, what are you looking at?
My biggest thing is, yes, we are going to do the training. Yes, we are going to tap into your nutrition, and yes, we are going to look into your cardio, just trying to balance everything. So in the city of Las Vegas, you have a whole bunch of occupations that you go through. So say, for example, you have people that work in the casino. They are graveyard. If I give them a plan that is only based off of one time how much you should eat, like 6 meals a day, they're not going to be able to obtain that goal, because
it's not realistic.
They don't have the time to eat 6 times a day. They don't have time to go to the gym for 2 hours out of the day.
Or prepping, cooking.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So now I go into depth. What can you give me? So instead of hitting the gym, they'll talk to me. They'll be like, I want to go to the gym 5 times a day or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
I say, are you eligible to do that? They said, it's going to be tough, but I'll try. And I would say, let's dim that down. Let's go 2 to 3. It's a range now. Because say, for example, you're not even eligible to get that 3rd day in. You do 2 full bodies. You stim the muscle two times a week. And then that extra day, that's your that's another
bonus. I love how you keep saying bonus.
Exactly.
I use that all the time.
And then from there, you look into your nutrition. Not everyone is going to scale their food out. Not everyone is going to go plan by plan. So you have to understand where they want to start with food. It's about them, not you. You can set them on a macro plan and they will not do it. So from there, if they do not want to weigh food out, it's about portioning. Everything starts with portioning. Portioning, whole foods, and water intake.
So you're putting yourself in their shoes.
Exactly.
And you're rather than like, hey, this is how I do it, it works for me.
Exactly.
Let's jump into your shoes and what's your lifestyle?
Yeah.
What's your diet?
So it's deeper.
What's your responsibilities?
Exactly.
And how do we make it work for you where you're actually going to do it?
Exactly.
I love that, because if it's my way, the highway, it's only going to work for like 10% of the people. Yeah. There's so many ways of doing it.
Because I've done bodybuilding meal preps, like 6 to 8 meals a day. You weigh the food, very strict. 1 refeed, maybe every 3 months.
Which is perfect for a bodybuilder looking to compete.
1000%.
But if you're a single mom with 3 kids,
we're looking at general health.
Yeah, and you never want to compete.
Exactly.
That sounds awful. That sounds awful for me now where I'm at in my life.
So,
and I've been that guy.
Exactly. So now we just change, and then it's something for a lifetime. Are you able to obtain this for the rest of your life? It may sound scary for the rest of your life.
Obtain that for the rest of your life. I
love
that.
From there, it's just trying to...
So you're creating a lifestyle, long-term plan.
Like I said, that 3 months, we can really dial it in, but you're going to obtain stuff from that 3 months that you have gone crazy. And then from there, you put little things, and you won't even notice it. You won't even notice it, but you're doing it. You're drinking 1 gallon of water or 4 liters of water. You're going to sleep earlier, maybe. It's just little things that you'll bring out within
instilling little habits over time, so they become consistent and second nature.
Exactly.
Love, which you and I do each and every day.
Yes, sir.
But we didn't do it overnight.
No.
It took years and years and years. Yeah. And I'm constantly building on new habits. And meditation is my new habit that I'm building on towards.
Nice.
And after talking to Ricky, I think journaling is going to be my next one.
It was what?
Journaling.
Okay, yeah.
Because I keep hearing it and I keep seeing benefits of it.
Every morning, every night.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's something in my mind that I'm looking to build on to my new habits.
Exactly.
So I get, and you're starting at the basics.
Exactly.
Going to the gym, only 2 days a week, eating clean only a certain amount of the time. I love that. Even just drinking water.
Drinking water. Everything is just to the basics. So you got to understand just basics first, and then you can progress from there, because everything's back to the basics. Everything, little stepping stones. Even the movements. In the movements, you have your conventional lift. You go based off the basic movements: squats, shoulder press, deadlift. And then depending on injuries, depending on body types, you regress, you progress, or you just change the movement. RDLs are a form of deadlift. Sumos are a form of deadlift. Everything targets a little bit differently.
Tweaks slightly different.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even I think not even overlooking like dynamic stretching, like just swinging your arms back and forwards, doing circles.
You get what I'm saying?
Twisting your upper body.
I'm Asian, so we do this thing with the knees, the circle knees.
Yeah, you go back to like your martial arts and
you
stuff.
You know what I mean? We'll do like stuff like that.
That stuff is so beneficial.
And then you loosen up, you warm up.
Yeah.
So
I look at my dad, and he's never stretched. He's never he's just that old school hardcore Australian male, and he's so stiff.
Yeah.
He cannot do anything. And here I am, like 220. I can like throw head kicks. I can do
exactly.
Just from building muscle, but also keeping that range of motion, that flexibility while you build up. So
when I was doing the bodybuild prep, I would maintain maybe like 185. But I was stiff as a brick. 185, but my physique was good.
But you felt awful, right?
I couldn't move. I couldn't itch my back. I couldn't, but then I went up. I went to 230. My highest was 230.
Which is
strong as a bull.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
Dude, that's big.
I was strong as a bull, but I couldn't move.
You probably look like a bull.
Yeah, I'm just walking around. My breathing's heavy.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm
just
like
functioning, right?
I can't tie my shoes, and then from there, I'm at 180, just like my starting position. But now I'm able to do cardio. Now I'm able to stretch. Now I'm able to maneuver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I love it. This is I would say my best physique because.
And you look better being lean too, right?
I feel better.
Lean, you look 20, 30 pounds bigger.
Exactly. I don't know if I look younger when I was 230, older. I was off. I don't know.
That's interesting, isn't it? I remember being really big and jumping off a gutter. I'm like,
exactly.
Oh my God, that's not a good feeling.
No, it wasn't.
I don't feel good.
At the time being, it was cool, but then something clicked. I was like, you know what? We were training with a trainer at the gym, and we did the Murph.
What's that again?
It's it's a mile run. Don't quote me on this. Mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, weighted if you want, squats. This is all could be weighted too. 300 squats, and then another mile run.
Which sounds awful.
The first mile, bro, I couldn't. And then he was like, yeah, come on, bro. Let's go. I'm like, okay, let's get it. Let's go. And I don't know what, I blacked out maybe 23 minutes into it.
Really?
I was out of it.
It's like, I talk about it a lot, like just like the longevity. It's one thing looking a certain way, but the longevity and the quality of your life you get from not being quite so big and being a little bit more flexible.
Exactly.
Being able to run across the street.
Exactly.
Like being able to defend yourself if you need to.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Something came to mind. I may have just lost it. So you're doing the lifestyle. You're kind of getting into someone's mind, right? Do you feel like giving someone permission is important? Meaning, if you're 30 and you're always being overweight, they probably don't realize there's permission that they can actually be in shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're really going to get someone you need to get inside somebody's head to make them realize that is possible.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they've never seen it. And their parents are overweight. They've never seen it. And generally their parents are probably overweight.
So it's a cycle.
How do you kind of break that?
So now it's just being able to understand who do you want to look in the mirror as? Do you want to are you looking at yourself that when they start, they're probably looking at themselves. I'm like, okay, I'm overweight. I will never be stronger than what I'm at now. There will be no problem. Exactly. So it's about how you talk. It's about how you mentally talk to yourself and understand I can do this.
How do you get someone to realize that they can do that if they've never done it before?
It's just little things. It's the little achievements. You have a big goal, but it's the habits that you do now that will get you to that goal. So say, for example, we get them on push-ups. They can only do one push-up. And then 2 weeks goes by, they could do 2 push-ups. It's that little stepping stone that they're eligible to do. So now they're getting stronger. They might hear from other people, oh, look at your face. Your face is getting slim. and then that boosts your confidence from.
I was gonna say building your internal confidence in yourself.
So like my best friend, my manager, and he has a little brother. From there, this is what got me, because this is big for me. He wasn't overweight. He was a little overweight. He might have been 5'9", my height, 220. And from there, he was like, hey, look, I want to start training with you. I'm going to watch what I eat.
How old is he?
He's 19 now.
Okay.
So it's my friend's little brother. And from there, he goes, yeah, I'm going to start training. I'm going to lock in maybe 3 times a week. I was like, okay, let's do it. We'll check your diet. He has a detailing company now. But at first, he was working for a detailing company. I was like, work, eat your meals, do extra cardio, and then weight train. 20 pounds came off. His confidence. Now, it's not even that. He's starting getting more haircuts. So he starts seeing it whenever he gets his haircut.
Taking more pride in himself.
Exactly. He has more confidence in himself. And then
that's funny.
40 comes off. He's like, oh, let me get into my fashion. Let me go ahead and look into my shoes. Let me look into my jeans. He never wore jeans. He always wore shorts.
Yeah.
He starts wearing like cargo pants. He's like, okay. 60, 80 pounds comes out. Now this translates even bigger. He buys a mobile detailing company.
Oh, wow.
And now he's thriving off it.
Self-confidence.
It's self-confidence.
This is probably something he's wanted to do for a long time.
Exactly. So a year ago, would we have thought that he would have bought that company? I don't know.
How cool is that?
You get what I'm saying? So it's deeper than just fitness. He built a whole business.
Was he single? Was he married?
Yeah, he's single.
Sorry, he's young.
Yeah, young.
So he's probably dating now.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
that's crazy, right?
It's little stuff like that, but now he took it into his own hands just based off of that little push. I didn't have to do anything.
That's so cool. I had a friend, and he dropped. I kind of called him out, and he took it personally. He dropped 290 pounds.
Yeah, and phenomenal.
He was a 30-year-old, and I don't know if he had been on a date or anything. Never posted selfies. Literally dropped 300 pounds, and now there's constantly pictures of him taking selfies. He's out hiking every day,
and it's those little things.
He's off dating.
Yeah,
it's amazing to see.
I love to see it.
It's so like amazing. And for me, I've always done weights. I've always kind of been somewhat of shape. Always been the guy who's been in better shape than all my friends. Mm-hmm. So I've never had that different. I've always been the one that stood out because I was always the one putting in the work. Mm-hmm. And for someone like that to come across and now starting to stand out more than the friends, starting to get asked out, starting to take more pride.
And now he's able to enjoy life. It's not even that, because at first he wouldn't go out. Like he would just be locked in, work, gym. So he was locked in, but now he's enjoying life. He's going out to eat dinners. And Vegas has phenomenal food. So we have experiences that we can't offer. So he's starting to go experience that. He's starting to go out to, what is it called? Helicopter rides. Well, who would have ever known if he were to be the same 220 or whatever he was at, if he would have been the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or he could be 40 having a mild heart attack by not taking a change.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always talk about this. Someone dies from a heart attack every 39 seconds in America. Mm-hmm. That scares the hell out of me.
It's very scary.
That's crazy. Something I thought about, you mentioned being overweight, not being overweight, being bigger and your breathing. Do you think there's a difference between a 250-pound bodybuilder and a 250-pound person who's overweight? So as far as internal organs, stress on your heart, do you feel like there's any difference?
I feel like there's not much different because your body is working harder. So say for
it's interesting thought though, isn't it?
You know what I mean? So like I had said, my brother had passed away last year. He passed away from a heart attack. He was a bodybuilder. Okay. Yeah, so from there, I believe, in my opinion, you're intaking so many calories and you're just putting your body into so much stress that it could be the same deal as being overweight. Like,
so I didn't bring that up because
I understand.
Yeah, so sorry.
But it's the truth. It's the truth.
So because it's like I never thought about it, and I read something and I was like, you know what? It kind of makes sense. You're probably eating better food, but you still got that much strain on your body.
Ankles, you're
still
knees.
Moving that much weight. Your heart's still pumping that much blood to get to that much size.
I'll tell you, when I was 230, I didn't feel it. Well, I kind of felt it. My knees my knees and my ankles. I'll feel pressure. And then when I drop down to like 200, I'm grabbing a 25 and I'm like, man, this is kind of heavy. Like I'm walking with it. I'm walking with it. I'm like, bro, like I used to have 25 and 5 on me and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I believe, yes, it is a, just being that heavy is not the greatest for your health. So
I love weights, I love training, I love dieting. Bodybuilding has literally changed the world, but also I think there's an excessive
1000%
end of it, and it's very unhealthy. And
I could tell you I don't do a show. I could do a show. I could 1000% do a show.
I've never been a bodybuilder. I've never done a bodybuilding show.
I don't think I would do it because my brother put himself through so much stress, and I seen it. I would be with him 4 a.m. We'd be doing cardio at 60 minutes of cardio at 4 a.m. We'd get off at 2, train 4 o'clock, just doing that over and over. Yes, it builds good mental, but at the same time, that's what he wanted, and I wanted that for him.
Yeah.
So I was there with him every single step. And then just the stress of everything, it was just like, there was no balance. I'm big on balance now. I love balance.
Balance being huge. Yeah. There was a guy, I was 21. I started personal training when I was 21. First thing I did after school. And there was a guy who was 30, and he kind of became a mentor of me, helped me diet for the first time. He was a bodybuilder, dropped dead at 31. And he had a girl, he had a 2-year-old daughter. And it was, as sad as it was the biggest wake-up call ever for me, because he lived and breathed it. But he was dead. There's no coming back. There's no second chances. There's no enjoying life. That was that.
Exactly.
And that I don't like to say I was lucky enough, but I was lucky enough to see that at that age where he was taking steroids, but he was probably taking too much. He was taking party drugs, he was probably taking too much.
Exactly.
He didn't have that. I'm not against whatever you want to do, but you need to do it within, it's your life, you need to do it within a balance. I mean, if you want to drink alcohol, but don't become an alcoholic, because obviously that's bad for you.
Yeah.
So you want to take steroids, whatever it is, you can do it, but be sensible about it.
Exactly.
And that was always a wake-up call for me, because I was so passionate about fitness and looking good, but it was just like, okay, don't go too far.
Exactly.
Don't go too far. Remember this. This is a life
lesson.
Even
with training, you can overtrain. You can run your body to the ground, wear and tear. Biceps can tear if you just train too much. So now you have to find that balance for you. If you can make it to the gym 5 times out of the week for 1 hour, do that instead of 5 times out of the week for 3 hours. That it's counterproductive with time, big on time too. But your body might just shut down. Your central nervous system will shut down. Just your muscles will just not recover from the damage that you have done in the weight room. And
also like a deeper reason, like, why am I doing this? Why is this so important?
Exactly.
Why am I putting so much emphasis on this?
Exactly.
But it's hard. Like said, I'm 42. When I was 30, I was modeling. I'd won fitness comp after fitness comp. I was in Thunder Down Under, dancing on stage without a shirt on in Vegas.
Yeah.
So my whole life has been dictated around the way I look. Now I'm 42, you start comparing yourself. Oh, I could be leaner. I've looked better.
Exactly.
But it's like, why does it need to be that way?
Exactly.
Am I healthy? Do I feel good? Do I look better than 99% of people? You got to find a deeper reason at some point, right?
And then I'll get people that will be like, oh, look at what I used to do when I was 20. We'll say they're 30.
All the time, right?
And, oh, look at what I used to do when I was 20. I look at the video, it'll be like a 315 squat. And I'm like, okay, that was a phenomenal squat, but now let's look at it like this. You haven't been in the gym since you were 20.
Exactly.
So now we have to slowly get you in. We don't know if I load you 315 right now, we don't know what's going to happen. But
you're going to crush.
But I can see where your strength is. I can give you a barbell and we can see the range of motion. Your hips are going to be tighter.
Yeah.
Your mobility is going to be, because what if we're at an office, we're just sitting there, everything's going to get locked up. So from there, whatever was in the past, that's your achievement. But let's look into the future now. From right here to the future.
I feel like the biggest thing is as we get older, we start to like, we got heartburn, we got inflammation, we got joint pains, we got tendonitis, and we think it's just because we're getting older.
Yeah.
And talk to me about inflammation.
Inflammation?
Inflammation being literally one of the worst things, right? And avoidable.
I would say it's just recovery. So now recovery, in my opinion, is just as important as training,
if not more, right?
I would say more, because your recovery, it goes into your nutrition, it goes into your water intake, it goes into your rest,
your sleep. Yeah,
some people don't sleep, and
it's crazy, right? But it's also a cool thing to do.
Yeah, because we're so
I'm hustling.
Exactly. And then from there, I gotta sleep. If I don't sleep, I don't know, I'll go like a good 7, or 6 to 7. 6 is pushing it.
Yeah,
but from there it's like
I'm like an 8 to 9 diet.
Yeah, and it's so crazy because we live in such a fast world now. Everything is on there. Everything is right there. So
it's also sold as the less sleep, the harder you're working.
Exactly. So now you're not going to be able to recover after a training day if you do not recover. That's where the inflammation will start happening. That's where joint pain, pain in general. So that's why they do ice baths. Professional athletes, they'll spend more money on their recovery than their training.
That's interesting. That's very, like, massages.
I tell my clients all the time.
Sauna.
Cryo.
Yeah.
Cryo is a big thing.
That's interesting. Do you do cold therapy at all?
I do. I usually do ice baths. I've done cryo once, but I haven't been since.
Where do you do ice baths at?
I just do it at my house. I got one of those like little
tubs.
Yeah, the tubs, and I got one of those little sauna things where you stick your head out.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I do cold showers.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's phenomenal.
I've been in it for like 6 years.
I hate the cold though.
I mean,
am I able to cuss?
Yeah.
I fucking hate the cold. I fucking hate it.
But what I find doing cold therapy, it makes you tougher.
Yeah.
So I just got back from Georgia. It was 37 degrees. It was freezing, but I was still doing cold showers there.
Really?
So when I'm outside, I'm still wearing a shirt. I'm cold, but I'm okay with it.
I'm in Las Vegas with a jacket, 2 jackets.
It's like, what's the temperature now?
It's like 50 degrees and I'm layered up. But
I feel like it's important to push yourself.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They call it hormesis. Hormesis meaning that doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Yeah.
So saunas, cold therapy, fasting, exercise, things like that. Things that push you out of your comfort zone, that forces your body to
meditation in a sauna. Oh my God. You just knocked it
that'd be a good one.
2 out in 1. So now it's time. And then the feeling that you would have, it's like getting high off of drugs, but it's internal. So that meditation, including the steam, it could just be all mental for you, and then you're just refreshed.
I find the same with cold. Like if I push my cold shower to like 8 minutes, I come out like
you're awake too.
I wouldn't even say awake. I'm just like the endorphins you get, the high you get out of it. It's crazy. The clarity, you just feel really good.
Yeah.
Is it easy? Hell no. Cold shower's never easy. I've done it for 6 years.
8-minute cold shower?
Yeah, I've done it for 6 years and it's still not easy. Like Swanee was freezing.
Yeah.
And because it's getting colder outside, I'm finding myself starting to like walk around the kitchen, looking, just have another glass of water. Just go have a shower, man up and get it done.
Exactly.
Because I'm gonna do it regardless. Yeah. But it's never easy. And that's what I like about it.
It's instilled in you.
Yeah, it's one of those like habits that took a while. With the inflammation too, like our diet is so bad and everyone's eating so much crap that our bodies are so inflamed. And that's also been a huge thing for us, right?
Yes. And then it comes with bloating as well. So
yeah. All those things like heartburn, bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation. Like,
all the processed foods that we might not even think are processed. So now it's furthering knowledge on actual whole foods. And it could be the stuff that we were taught when we were younger. Like, what are those meals called? The big man meals, or what the frozen meals?
Like TV?
It's television. They can say, real protein. It's marketing.
It's all marketing.
It's all marketing. And then
there's a book I'm reading right now. It's Sugar, Salt, Fat.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's good.
Yeah?
So good.
I might have to look into it.
It's so good. Like anyone in fitness, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Because it literally just talks about how they change things to manipulate, to market, to sell more product. Talks about soda, talks about cheese, talks about salt, talks about Kraft, like the Kraft company being one of the main companies, talk about everything they've done to manipulate. It's insane.
Crazy. It's crazy what big business
like
is.
we kind of know it happens, but we don't really, we stick our head in the sand, we don't really think about it. But when you read it, you're like, damn, this place is messed up. There's just profits.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as some of your results with your clients, what's some of the things, like you mentioned, having the younger guy, what's some really cool stuff you've done for people and things that you've seen come out of that person once they've lost weight or they've become healthier?
So from there, I have one of my first clients. It's actually his sister. So I train a family. It's his sister. She was one of my first clients. She lost over 120 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I believe. And she's still going though. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Wow.
She's still losing. But even if she's not losing, she has more definition. She has more muscle mass on her. And she's pushing through more weight. So from there, I think it's the same thing with the self-esteem. It was just looking into that. But now I see her thriving on business. It's thriving on, she's more social on her social medias and everything. From there, she's going out more, but at the same time, still balanced. Focus on, I believe she's going to school now. She's going to school, expanding her horizon in occupations, all that. And then from there, I have another client. This couple was with me before the pandemic, but one of my first clients as well. And at first, I can tell that the gentleman was just down. He had went to college they both went to college for music, I believe, for a music degree.
Yeah.
And the trauma from that degree just left him at like blah, like
what,
nothing in life. What's up?
Like in debt, you mean, or just not getting what they wanted?
Not necessarily in debt, just not getting what they want in life. So
gotcha.
Exactly. So it's like, it's that, and then they'll go into telling me, I believe like a year and a half in, he started losing weight, she started losing weight. Their career, they have one works for UNLV, I believe. One got promotions, just leveling up in work. And the other one, he's understanding who he is now. So it could be...
it's funny because it's got nothing to do with exercise.
It has nothing to do with it.
But it's got everything to do with exercise.
And then sometimes it's just a conversation. I'll ask her, I'm like, so what's happening with you? What's new with you? And if it's the expression of, oh man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, let's talk about it. Let's understand what you want to do. Set a goal, just like you had told me with your fitness, and then let's do it for your life. It's these little things.
It's really not rocket science, is it?
No, it's you have one goal. It's always one goal, and then you just the little habits to change to that goal.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
And I love it. It's not just fitness. It's their whole life switches around. Whole life goes into a positive.
I remember Bray mentioning the exact same thing, just seeing someone lose weight, but then everything evolving.
Everything your business could get better, your work could get better.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or you work a 9 to 5.
Just taking pride, more energy, working harder, wanting that promotion in that job.
Exactly.
It's like just not, and also kind of going back to the permission, knowing that you can do more than where you're currently
The world
going.
is in your hands.
Yeah, like you dictate everything that you do or don't do. Like,
so
yeah, and just understanding that if you can drop 100 pounds, you realize, hey, I can do anything. And I think, like for me, I'm stupid enough to think I can do anything, and what I've realized, I can. Whatever I put my mind to, I figure out, because no one's telling me I can't. Because I don't hang around people telling me I can't.
Exactly.
I don't tell myself I can't.
Yeah. I
constantly consume content telling me I can, or other people who have done. So it's like you said, the world's your oyster.
Yeah.
So,
from there, say for example, I'm in the fitness industry, and sometimes people perceive the fitness industry as not good. Well, my old people I grew up with, they'll be like, oh, look at him. He's on social media. Why is he on social media? It's my business. I'm marketing my business. At first, I'll get in my head. I'll be like, oh man, if they didn't approve of this, I'll probably fucking just nothing to them no more, so on and so forth. But then it's the people that actually matter. The people from back in the days, they'll be like, dude, I love what you're doing with your life. Keep going. And I have a handful of those people. I've known them for 10 plus years, and they'll be like, look, I've known you since you were young. You keep going. You're already setting yourself up to where you want to be at. Don't listen to any other people.
I like that. It might have been Oprah. It was somebody. She's like, I got 5 people. I think it was Oprah. She's like, I got 5 people. I call them tickets. She's like, I got 5 tickets of people who matter. Anyone else, I don't care. So, and I think it was like her husband and some mentor. If these people tell me I'm doing the right thing, that's all that matters.
That's all that, like.
And it's just another way of putting what you're putting.
Exactly.
It's like doing you for you, not worrying about other people's opinions. But if you are worried about someone's opinions, or you do want some type of approval, make sure it's the right people.
Exactly.
So,
and then you'll hear from different people like, oh, the criticism, oh, you're doing this wrong, oh, you're doing that wrong. But now you look into it just for a little bit. You look into it, you're like, am I really doing this wrong? If I'm not, then.
And who's this person to be telling you you're doing it right or wrong?
Exactly.
99% of the time, it's like, why are you even talking?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I love that, dude. And from my point, like, I've done weights for a long time, being big, being lean, being smaller, and someone's always got something to say.
Yeah, always.
Always. And what I realized, I'm like, I got to stop worrying about everybody.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Me for me. Right now, if I'm not happy with the way I look, start leaning up, start lifting heavier.
Exactly.
If whatever it is, but it's, am I happy? Yes or no? That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Am I healthy? Yes or no? And that's on me. So
that's all it is.
Yeah, I like what you're saying there. You read, you self-educate, you into like.
So funny. This is crazy. I grew up in Las Vegas, and our education system was not the best.
Still not the best.
Still, I don't know. I think we're like 3rd from last or 2nd.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but
I know it's not high. It's in the 40s.
Growing up in like grade school, middle school, high school, I was not. What is the word? Fluent in reading or. What's the word?
Just no.
I couldn't read. So that's been as simple as I couldn't read.
Okay.
I couldn't retain the knowledge until maybe like 10th grade. Because I had nothing to do. I would go to juvie and then you just sit there. And then my best friend at the time, she still is my best friend. She's living her life. She somewhat taught me how to read. She would tell me that, like, she'll sit me down. She'd be like, if you do not read this and obtain the knowledge from this book, we are not going out. We are not doing anything. We're just sitting there. I was just like...
This is at an early age.
Yeah. This is at 10th grade. I don't know how old I was. Maybe like...
Do your parents speak English?
Korean and English, yes.
Oh, they do both?
Yeah, Korean and English.
So they were able to help
But
you.
yeah, it wasn't even their fault. It was on me. Because I could probably have learned earlier, but then I just started reading on my own, I would say 19. But then at the same time, it was like, from the background that I came from, is like, why are you reading a book, bro?
That's not cool.
You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, put the book down and come hang out on the block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, I'm going to get away from that. They'll give me 1 hour. I'll read. 1 hour would probably take an hour. People could probably read like 20 pages, 30 pages. It took me like 10 minutes to read, or 10 pages for an hour.
Yeah.
But I got through those pages.
Yeah.
So it was that. And then I would go on from there. It'd take me longer, but I would get through the book and obtain the knowledge of the book. So.
So where are you at now with reading? Like, are you reading on a consistent basis?
Not a consistent base, but I'll expand my knowledge based off of my nutrition, training, self-development books.
You're upping your skills.
I'm upping it. I gradually.
To be better at what you're doing.
Exactly.
Okay. What type of stuff would come to mind that you've come across recently, or things you've learned? Or things that have changed you as a person?
Things that have changed me as a person, I would have to say just the eye-opening of my brother passing, that opened my eyes because we're young. And then from there, anything happened. Also, change. Just,
has it been a book or a quote or example that you've seen that like, hey, this is...
I would have to say just hearing stuff, just understanding like, hey, look, you have to be the person. If you want to see yourself in 5 years, this is who you have to be now to go there. So if it's that, last book I read, it was just, what is it called? Knowledge on More Nutrition. So that was the last book I had read, but self-development books, I would have to say changed, but it was probably a while ago. I forgot what book it was called. It was by, I read the Rich Dad, Poor Dad too.
Yeah, Rob Kiyosaki.
Yeah, I read that one, and I had read...
That was my first book, actually.
Really, was it?
That was, I was dating a girl, and her dad gave it to her, and she was 21. I was probably early 20s. And I read it, and it literally flipped my whole perception on its head.
Yeah.
Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work 40 hours a week for 40 years and retire.
Exactly.
And if you're not good at school, which it seems like you weren't, I wasn't passionate about it.
Actually, I went to school, but I dropped out.
Did you?
I got kicked out. I got put on academic probation.
I just like, I went to school. I didn't like skip school or anything. I just wasn't good at it, and it didn't come naturally, and I wasn't passionate about it.
Yeah.
But what I found, I got really good at PE, like fitness, then ended up personal training because obviously that's what I was passionate about. But unfortunately, we're kind of taught that if you're not good at school, you're not going to become a lawyer or a doctor. You're not going to be a nobody.
Yeah.
And what we don't realize, if you want to be a personal trainer, you're making $100-200 an hour. You're working whenever you want. You're picking your own clients.
Exactly.
You're able to leverage yourself with online coaching, and you can live the life that you want to live. And you're just a trainer. You know what I mean? You're not a lawyer. You're not a doctor. But you can... And also learning what you do with your money is so much more important than how much you make.
Oh yeah. I learned financing real early too. Because, like because I would make all this money, but where would the money go? It's not invested in my future. So from there, financing was one big thing that I took very seriously when I was about 18 or 19.
So which is so young to do.
Yeah. And
because 80% of us live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
80%. 8 out of 10 people.
And that's crazy.
Paycheck to paycheck.
That's crazy.
So if you're making $40,000 a year or you're making $400, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. Meaning you got a bigger mortgage, you drive a Tesla, you got a bigger car loan, you're wearing nicer clothes, you got more jewelry on, but you're still in the same position that someone making $40,000 in. And that blows my mind.
It's crazy.
And it's not cool to drive a secondhand car, and it's not cool to have 5 rooms that you don't use.
Yeah.
But you see the size of my place, but every little nick and cranny's been utilized.
Yeah.
And until I really, really need something, I'll upgrade. But right now, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anyone else thinks, but it's so hard to get past that.
I enjoy the finer things in life. Like I've accepted the
experiences like you talked about, right?
Yeah. I enjoy the finer things. Like when I was younger, I would, I think I was like 16, I bought like $1,200 shoes. But that $1,200, I made $1,300 that day, bought the shoes that night, and then I wore them. And then it's just like, what I could have done something differently with. So the material
for 2 weeks.
Exactly. And I have never gone out of, I've gone to Korea when I was younger, but experienced traveling. Like I haven't been out of state.
Have you traveled much or not?
Not much. That's the goal. Try and travel more, experience different environments.
Traveling is, so many people are so sheltered, and traveling is the best thing you can do for perspective, appreciation, even just the weather. Like I said, just come back from Georgia, it's freezing right now.
Yeah.
Like that's their winter right now. And here we are, like nice winter in Vegas, but our summer sucks.
I'll die in Georgia if it's that cold. I'm like, I'm not going outside, put the heater on, do whatever.
But just the appreciation of, and that's just something so small. Yeah. So as far as your training, how do you train? What's your style of training?
So it's usually just lifestyle training, but it's conventional movements, but we dive deeper into subdivisions. So say, for example, people will do a Bulgarian split squat. So now it's funny, Bray, all of them, I give myself the name because it sounds better. I use a lot of bands. So I'll hook them on cables. I'll hook them on bands.
Yeah.
And we'll use that extra resistance of the band. So say, for example, we'll go Bulgarian split squat, but a deeper Bulgarian split squat. I'll put a band around the hip and I'll give you a weight. From there, we'll go 10 with the weight and the band. And I love burnouts. I love the way that we're able to tax the muscle within a shorter period of time.
Okay.
So 10 with the weight and band, drop the weight very quick, and then go straight into band for 15.
Gotcha.
Burn out the glute, burn out the ham. We're hitting different angles.
A lot of time on attention stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's 3-second eccentrics and all that.
Do you find the band really takes away from the skipping that negative? Because it's holding that tension.
Yeah. So now
you see most people at the gym like literally dropping the negative.
Exactly. So now it's like a lot of I call them snappy movements. So say, for example, we're doing like a face pull. I prefer a drive through the elbow. That's what I'll emphasize. But a lot of people do more power, generate the force, bang, get the hold, and then release. So you want the whole movement. You want the negative. You want the release, everything. So now with the band, it's constant tension within that.
Gotcha.
And then we'll look into breaking up a squat into full depth to half to the top. It's just breaking things down. 3/4 to 1/4. Just trying to understand where we feel the most tension in the quad, in the hamstring. Could also be in the chest, whatever body part, but just trying to translate
a lot of
that.
self-awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy just to go through the motions.
I stopped training for myself. I try to understand movements for my clients so I can cue better. So say, for example, lat pullover. Lat pullovers are very hard, even for myself to engage, but a lot of people will feel in the tricep. So now it's little things where if I move my elbow, am I gonna feel more in the lat? If I drive and drop my shoulder blades as I'm driving down, it's little cues like that I found in my training now that I can translate for my clients.
That's interesting. So you're really getting like, I don't think scientific's the right word, but you really like you're analyzing the movement.
So it's not necessarily scientific because there's a lot of people that have probably more knowledge. I'm fairly young.
You're getting there.
You know what I mean? And from there, they can break down muscle part.
Yeah.
But are they able to cue it?
You're analyzing it on feel.
So a big thing, I love cars. And I have a lot of clients that are into cars. So now it's about their lifestyle. If they're into cars, I'll ask them like, are you into cars? Think of nutrition like this. This is what let me see if I can break it down. What kind of car do you want to be? Just answer, what kind of car do you want to be?
Like me personally?
You personally.
I love like WRX or something.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, all right.
I love the rally car.
So WRXs. What kind of gas are you putting in a WRX?
I have no idea. I guess the best.
91.
Yeah.
So now people are feeding themselves at an 87 with the processed food. It's a lower grade.
So you're talking about being a high caliber.
Exactly, but now they understand it.
That's a interesting analogy. Exactly. I get where you're going.
And then they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to eat." I was like, "Okay, does your car have gas right now?" No. Use that. If they say no, I'm like, hey, you might have to change that. But they're usually like, "Oh yeah, it does." I was like, "Fuel your body like you fuel your car." That's whatever. It's
relatability to someone.
And then expanding knowledge to where. If someone's into, I don't know, like it could be whatever it is. It
could be anything.
It could be anything, and then you can just tie it all into fitness. Everything revolves around each other. So it could be cars, it could be boats, whatever it is.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Diet-wise, what are you personally doing? I know you're trying to put yourself in other people's shoes as far as their diet. Have you kind of got like a general base, something you recommend?
I have a general base that works for me. Generally Monday, it doesn't even matter. I don't really count a refeed, but it's most likely 3 times a day I'll eat.
Okay.
My
So
protein intake. No, my protein intake is generally at 150 to 180 every single day. Whether it includes protein shakes, just all protein. My carbohydrate usually stays the same. I'm not carb cycling right now, so I'll stay at like 200 grams of carbs, or if I feel a little bit, if I didn't really do much that day, I might drop to 100, 150, depending on what it is, excuse me. And then just greens. I'm very bad with greens.
I feel like most people are.
I fucking hate vegetables.
And I feel like it's so important.
But I eat it. And
you will force yourself to do it.
I'll put it in a smoothie. That's what I found. I'll put it in spinach. I'll grab 2 handfuls, and it's frozen. I'll just put it.
I literally put as much spinach
as much as I can. I'll have
until it's at a point it doesn't pour out anymore.
I'm just like,
because I don't really like eating vegetables.
I don't
don't dislike vegetables.
Exactly.
I just get lazy with it.
Exactly. So I'm just.
I much rather have meat and rice any day than half a plate.
Meat and rice is so simple. You can eat it in like, but then you gotta scoop the spinach, whatever it is.
It just takes, I'm on the exact same page with you. But if I can put it in a smoothie and blend it up and drink it.
It's so convenient.
Yeah.
So
that's so funny.
I'll do that, and then just my vitamins, daily vitamins, whatever I'm deficient in.
What are your fats like? What type of fats you having?
It's usually from the protein. I'm not adding in crazy fats. I'll eat maybe peanut butter or some type of. I do eat a lot of trail mix. They actually they make every once in a while, because I used to eat so bad, but I was still slim. I used to make it like a concoction with like Doritos, cheese, chili, fried chicken on it, and I came from eating like a thing like that big to eating healthy. So every once in a while I'll be like, at the gym, I'll be like, anyone want Taco Bell? Anyone? And everyone's like, Harry, what are you doing? I'll be like, I grew up off of, I used to share a 59-cent Del Taco with my friend and split it right in half.
Oh, really?
And I'll be like, you know what? I'm good for the day. Let's keep skateboarding, whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like nostalgic to me. I'm like, oh, let me eat that, because I remember eating that as a kid. I'm gonna eat that today.
That's funny.
That's every once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
So
that's funny. You're a big sushi guy?
I actually hate sushi. My parents used to own a sushi restaurant.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, they used to own one, and
you didn't like.
No.
Dude, my dad fished and like dived and always brought lobster and all the good stuff back, prawns, and I didn't like it at the time. But now sushi is literally my favorite food.
Really? Would you say that's your refeed? Like that's where you're going?
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
so
I had sushi yesterday and I was so happy. I go by myself half
when
the time.
When we go, we'll go to a sushi place, and I'll first thing I ask them, you guys got chicken and rice? And I'll just hit the teriyaki chicken and rice all day.
At least you go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. And then I will eat it. I will 1,000%. I'll eat anything. I will 1,000% eat it. But if there's another option, I'm choosing that other option. You get what I'm saying?
I feel like training, bodybuilding, dieting does that to you. Because I was the fussiest kid. I wouldn't eat anything.
Yeah.
My mom would want to kill me half the time.
Yeah.
And then, to build muscle, you need to eat more protein. Oh, I need more protein. Oh, I don't like tuna, but now I'm forcing myself to eat tuna. Or there's so many things I didn't like eating that I now eat, and I would eat on a consistent basis because I knew it's what it took.
Yeah.
And all these people are like, I don't eat this. I couldn't go without that. I don't eat that. You need to just toughen up, because be thankful you got access to the food that you got, because most places don't, and stop being a little bitch about it. And do what it takes to get where you want to get.
Exactly.
If not, shut up and just stay where you're at.
You know what I mean? So from there, it's just, now that I found a groove for myself, I'm sticking to it. And from there, if I miss a meal, it's not the end of the world. I'll catch up. That's how balanced it is. So one day, if I'm working 12 hours straight, I miss one meal within that day, I'll be like, look, I'll double down. I'll intake that meal tomorrow. I don't have a time frame of when I'm gonna step on stage or go to an audition. But from there, today, my energy is going to be a little lower, maybe even tomorrow, but I will refill tomorrow.
I want to ask you, so we just had Thanksgiving. A lot of people overeat Thanksgiving. If someone's dieting, they're on a weight loss journey, they do screw up. What's your advice?
So I'm very big on spending quality time with loved ones. So
meaning like if you have Thanksgiving,
exactly,
and enjoy it.
But now look at it like this: Bray's going to
Nationals,
right?
Yeah,
which is next week, this coming Friday.
So she's got a big about to go.
She has to lock in.
Oh, well, same as Ricky. We offered him food, and he's like, "I got to go."
Exactly. So from there, prepare yourself first.
Yeah.
So if you know that you're going to be surrounded around stuffing, jam, I don't know, ham, turkey, you bring your meals, which they usually will do.
Yeah.
And enjoy the quality time. But if we're not taken to a base like that, portion. I always say, enjoy the stuffing. Don't get a full plate of it, eat the plate, and then go into the turkey. Just portion everything correctly so that you can indulge in the stuffing, the turkey, ham, whatever it is that you want. Mac and cheese.
Do you advise, if someone overeats, do you advise just not overthinking it and not letting that become 2 week, 2 month, 2 year downfall?
It's
like, what would you kind of tell, like, if I'm your client, hey, I screwed up, I ate too much today, what do you tell me?
Forget about it. I'm not going to make you throw up. Go ahead and look into the future.
And just move on.
We'll just tap back in tomorrow.
You feel like most people go wrong there?
Yeah, they usually, if they mess up, they'll be too harsh on themselves.
Yeah, like mentally, and then they just go and eat more.
Exactly.
Oh, I screwed up here.
I already messed up, so let me just keep going. You don't need to think. It's like, at the end of the day, it's a mental. So you got to understand, if you overate to the point where you can't feel your stomach anymore, digest it, let it all go down. Into that next morning, you hit your cardio. Nothing changed. You hit your cardio. You get back.
Nothing changed. I love that. Nothing changed.
Nothing changed. You
just
still
move on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go Black Friday. If you go Black Friday shopping, walk around.
Yeah.
There's your cardio.
And something I'm thinking about: if you did eat all you can until your stomach's full, remember how you feel right now, because you're not feeling very good.
Yeah.
Even when I had Thanksgiving, I still had a nap.
Yeah.
And I didn't eat that much. But it just shows how heavy that
I
food
didn't
is.
even eat. I'm going to be honest. This Thanksgiving that passed, so a lot of people were sick, so I helped cook. I never helped cook before. I'm cooking in the kitchen. I'm sweating because the oven. Right when, I didn't even do much. But from there, I made the meals. Everything was set. I went to go sit on the seat just like this, and I would just put my head back, and I just passed out. I didn't even eat yet. I was like, golly.
They cook hard, right?
Yeah, I was like, God, this is only 2 hours of the work. You know what I mean? So
that's funny. I kind of wanted just a general question. Someone, and not even necessarily like training with you, but someone out there lacking confidence, lacking the right environment, looking to change their life physically, mentally. How do they get started?
It's just understanding who you are and where you want to be.
Okay.
It does not, like you said, it does not have to be training. Say, for example, if it's a younger kid, they want to understand what they want to do for their life. The world is theirs. The world is theirs. Give yourself the time to understand and think about what you want. So a lot of people, they could want the finer things in life. So you base something off of getting the finer things in life. But if it's just a modest living, just go ahead and be comfortable with it. Financially stable, pretty fit, just healthy overall, and have a good balance.
Working out what you need, what you want.
Exactly,
okay.
Because from there, you're usually a product of your environment, but you can always change that. But it has to start with the mental.
So I would go out on a limb to say that most people don't even have those thoughts.
Yeah.
Most people. And I'm thinking, like, do I do that enough? I don't think I do that enough, to be honest.
The biggest change for myself was when I was 17. That was my last time I actually went to jail. So I signed papers to not go to juvie, but go to county. So I got charged as an adult. But from there, I had a lot of time to think. I just sat there. You're in a box for like 23 hours. So just thinking, just trying to understand what I want to do. At first, it was like, I understood what I want, but I didn't know how I was going to get there.
Yeah, okay.
So from there, I was like, okay, if I do this, I do this. The little thing was get a job, understand how corporate works. I wanted to go work for a restaurant, corporate restaurant, and then get a work ethic from there. Turn 21, go to the strip, understand different businesses. And then I became a personal trainer at 21. And looking into everything, just perfecting my craft as a trainer, I'm like, I could really take this to a next step. And from there, it got me to where I'm at now. So it's just giving yourself time to think. Even if it's, a lot of people don't like being alone. Just give yourself that time to be alone and understand, even if it's not alone.
It's something I read a while ago. It's probably a couple of years, because I'm always like reading, talking, interviewing, business book, and it's like sometimes just stop.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to be quiet you need to not have music playing.
Peace. It's all
straight.
peace.
I got a guitar here. I got audiobooks.
Yeah.
Sometimes just take that 5 minutes, because that allows you to have true clarity and to think. And that's what you're touching on, isn't it?
So it's like, for example, my life was so hectic with just a whole bunch of stuff going very fast. But then it slowed down all of a sudden. And I'm just like, what the? And then you just go ahead and look into what you're doing. Even I do it now. Every quarterly, I'll just stop, understand, okay, am I where I'm at within this, financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually? I'm like, okay, it's just little check-ins with yourself, and then you can get back into it.
So you, it's funny because you just kind of led me to my next question. Like, you setting goals. What are some of your goals? How do you go about setting goals?
Just so some of my goals is just becoming a better businessman, expanding my properties, just real estate, my portfolios, and basically just be the best trainer I can be.
Okay.
Not comparing it to other, because this is every what is it called? Every occupation or industry is very competitive, but the thing that will kill you is if you compare yourself to someone. So,
which is so hard not to do,
unfortunately, but it's
even
like,
with this podcast, right?
You know what I mean?
Like, this is a beginning podcast, and it's hard not to compare yourself.
Exactly, exactly.
But saying that, I went back and watched his first podcast, and they're awful. But here he is today.
Exactly.
So it's good to...
You know Alex Hermosi? He said, look at my video from when I first started and look at the 700 video after. Look at the quality. I was like, you're right. So you just keep going and going.
If I could pick any favorite entrepreneur right now, Alex Hermosi.
Oh yeah, he's phenomenal.
Phenomenal. I love him. I think
it's just
amazing.
The balance he has.
His TikToks he put out, at every piece is like gold.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, and I don't comment very often, but for him, I'm like, amazing, love it. Gonna do this.
Because it's true. It's like, it's straight to the point, and it's understandable.
Yeah, it's so good. And he had a video. He's like, I did 2 to 4 podcasts a week. Nobody cared. It took me 6 years before anybody cared. And it just even this is only a couple months in, I've done 40 or so podcasts, but it means, hey, I got to do at least 400.
That was the one
maybe 4,000.
Yeah.
Before maybe something comes out of it.
He was talking about his buddy too. He was like, oh, my buddy's online programming blew up. But then he stopped because that one blew up.
So that.
It was that same video. And I was like, so just keep going and going. My Instagram, I just release. I have a team for it. So they send me the stuff. I release everything. And it's everything I want. But now people are catching on. Like, I'll have people like, oh, you're that guy from Instagram. Oh, you're VVS Training. And I'm so new to this. Like, in general, I'm just like, I don't know what to say. And then I'll just look at them like, yeah.
It's weird, right?
It is weird, but then you have to adjust to it. You have to adapt to it. It's like anything else. And then if they're a big fan, I want to give them the time and then tell them like, one guy was a trainer. I was like, okay, look, tap in. This is free game. Tap in. If you need me, text me. I even I'll buy like shoes as a younger sales guy going to school, and he goes, bro, I follow you. And I'll be like, oh, no way, bro. And then he'll message me later, hey, thanks for having me. The conversation really motivated me to pursue my career as a CSI. I believe he was going to be a CSI. I was like, keep your head down. It's going to benefit you in the future. Little things like that.
That is like the best compliment.
It wasn't even fitness. It was not even fitness related. Yeah. It was about because at the time, I guess something like some customer, like, just being rude. And I'm just like, it's all good, bro. Help him. I'm going to be right here.
Yeah.
Take your time. And then it was just that little
I love it. Yeah.
peace and kindness that grew him. And he's just like, okay, I could tap in with him now.
If I could set one goal behind this podcast is to 2 years time to be at the gym, someone come up, hey, I dropped 100 pounds because I saw this clip, or I started a business because I saw this interview.
Exactly.
Or I read this. I've had guests on like, hey, I started reading this book because I saw your video about this book.
Exactly.
To me, that is the best possible compliment you could ever get.
It's just one change.
Just one person, right?
One person. That's all it is.
If you say something that gets across to one person who makes them add a little bit of change,
exactly,
it's all worth it, in my opinion.
Exactly. So that's why that's literally why I do what I do today. Because that's
why I love having people like yourself on here.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one person closer to their peace. It's all at the end of the day. It could be happiness, it could be peace, it's just one step closer though.
And it's something I've never thought about, but can you imagine watching this interview in 5 years' time when you're doing the things you just mentioned?
Yeah.
How cool is that going to be?
And then it's going to be like, I spoke into existence. Yeah, manifest it. Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Or me, like, hey, when I talk to so-and-so, or once I do the 400th episode, and I'm actually sitting there doing it.
Exactly.
You can look back at this video.
It's growth within the podcast. It's growth within us as business people or human beings in general. We can grow as a human being. It doesn't.
Yeah, and doing things that make you uncomfortable. Like you said, this is your first podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're probably not uncomfortable, but you're probably not comfortable.
Yeah.
And I literally posted a video today. If it makes you uncomfortable, do it.
Exactly.
If it's hard, push into it.
Exactly. That's why I was like, when we were linking, I was like, oh, can my manager come? And I texted him about it. He said, bro, you got it. Just talk, be yourself. Because at first I would not be able to keep a conversation. Like when I was like 18, it'd be very short. Like the way I would talk, the demeanor that I would talk at. It's all about how you talk to people. Yeah. So it's like, I could say, what is it called? Good morning, King. Or it's just positive. Or I could be like, it's just the way you deliver the notion. But from there, I couldn't hold no conversation. Yeah. I didn't have the knowledge to hold a conversation.
That also been another big thing.
It's right? Like, it was so bad. But then within that 3-4 years, my knowledge has expanded, and then I'm able to hold conversation now. I'm able to talk, just express to my clients, understand my clients. It's all personalities too. The
biggest thing for me doing this is I have a podcast. Who am I to have a podcast? I'm a nobody. Who am I to somebody?
You're not nobody.
But you know what I mean?
You're not nobody.
That's that way you can think. And then who am I to invite people to come around and have this conversation with someone? And I'm in control. I've got to be able to have a conversation. I got to be able to keep this conversation going. I got to not say something stupid.
Yeah.
I got to be able to listen, but also like ask better questions. You know what I mean? It's made me grow so much as a person.
Exactly.
Learning to shut up at certain points, learning to ask the right questions. Very personal stuff comes up.
Yeah, it does.
Learning what to say, what not to say. I'm not familiar with doing this.
Yeah.
It's hard. But by doing it, I'm going to grow. And that's
exactly
all it is.
So like the responses, and people ask me like, are you open to talking about your past? Because I'm open to a certain extent, but if you want to hear something, I don't mind. Everything that had happened turned me into the person I am now. So even though I had a dark past or just not a good upbringing, I'm positive now. So I'm not going to let my past dictate my future.
No.
I can never, then I wouldn't be anywhere.
Yeah, like Rick and I were talking about this, like when going through what you've been through makes you the person today.
1,000%.
And I actually asked him, I was like, would you have changed your upbringing, what you did? And he's like, no, because it made me who I am today.
I wouldn't.
And he's been through way worse stuff than like I could ever imagine.
Yeah.
But he's, like he said, it was a blessing in disguise, but it took a long time to kind of show.
Yeah.
So it's that's what I love about reading is you learn from other people's experiences and perspectives without you having to go through it.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty about this podcast is I get to learn and experience through other people's experiences. And things you have said will resonate with me for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
And to me, that is like the most priceless thing you could ever.
Vice versa too. Things that you have said put into my life.
It's crazy, right?
It's just picking at each other's brains too. Just understanding how people think, what everything is. So
yeah, and everyone's got something valuable to bring to the table.
Everyone.
And if you think like, what's that saying? You like if you're always talking, you're never learning, right?
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people stop listening and they stop learning.
Yeah.
And 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you speak.
Yeah.
Ask questions, provide value, try to help other people.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
If you ask anyone else from the gym, I'm very loud in the gym. It's a big old facility, but you hear me from across, I'll scream.
Really?
I'll just the energy. I'll just bring the energy. But outside, I'm the total opposite. I don't talk.
Really, like you're introverted outside.
I'm very, but I reserve my energy. So like if you see me outside, if a lot of people will be like, why aren't you like this? Or why aren't you like we're at the gym? I'm like, I'm in my own zone.
That's funny. I'm very quiet and reserved, but I'm very confident.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to prove to anybody because inside I've proved it.
That's all.
I wouldn't say I proved to myself. I just know who I am as a person.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's interesting.
So from there, it's like because your clients pay for a certain energy. You give them your energy. You want to provide that energy for them. You don't want to be there to do this, do that. You can go anywhere for that. But they chose you for your energy, for your
personality. Because I know when I used to train, so it'd be a bunch of different trainers, but the client's personality would resonate with the trainer's personality.
Exactly. Yeah, I do. I see that a lot.
You see it a lot, right? You're like, you can see them, like very similar type person. And you get to know the clients because they're there at the same time as you.
Exactly.
Like I can see why they train together. I can see why he trains with me.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like people you would end up being friends with and hanging out with.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you end up training.
So from there, it's just like outside the gym, I'm still me, but I don't have much to say. I just go throughout my day. I can go a whole day without talking if I needed to, but I'm always observing. And from there, just understanding.
Just to finish up with, where do you think most people are going wrong as far as just their health, the way they're feeling, the way they're looking, dying early? What do you think we're doing wrong? What do you think needs to be changed?
I think it's misguidance. It's misguidance.
Like from parents, from media?
From everything in general. So it could be media, social media. It could be from
like marketing.
Parents. It could also be what is it called? To where you can get. Some people don't have the utilities to start off at.
Like the access.
Yeah, the access for food. Or in general.
Or like environmental type.
Exactly. So from there, it's just being able to adjust to your environment. You see these things on YouTube, $20 bulk meal for the week. That's probably exaggerated.
No, yeah. But
you know what I'm saying?
The healthy ones, right? The
exactly. It's like
live as a bodybuilder for $20 a week.
$20 if you're in college.
Costco buying a bunch of chicken.
Exactly.
Okay.
So from there, yes, you can start that way, but you don't need to eat that much chicken. If you want to bodybuild, yes. But if you want to just have general fitness, buy half of that.
So you're saying there's access to the right information.
Exactly.
Which never used to exist. And
never.
I don't think people quite get that.
Yeah.
It's never been easier.
But then now.
But there is a lot of confusion
Yeah,
too.
there is a lot of confusion.
I can see where you're headed.
So because I on my story or on my page, I don't say this is the wrong way to do it, this is the right way to do it.
I like that.
Because there's no wrong or right. There's just ways that are more comfortable in the position. Are you targeting that muscle? So we'll just say Bulgarian split squat again. Are you far enough to where your knee is not tracking over your toes to where your heel's coming up? Or do you need to step out more? You can be totally fine on your toe and still feel that quad and still be good. But you have more stability if you just bring that leg out. You can perform that movement, but just bring that leg out, see how it feels. If it feels better, keep it. If it does not feel better, bring it back in.
And it works for you.
If it works for you, it works for you.
Go.
But
as long as it's not doing damage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long as your joint pains aren't there, but there's no wrong way or right way to do it. As long as you're focusing and targeting that movement. There's better ways, but from there you want to be able to give the knowledge to that better way. So I always emphasize that and when it comes to just, it's the little things. People don't tap into sleep enough. People don't tap into water intake enough. Just recovery. And
so would you say, like, if someone's just lacking that information, just to go seek it, like, or are you big on finding a coach and going that route?
It depends on how bad you want it and what you have already done. So I always recommend a coach. I have a coach. I have a Muay Thai coach. And,
oh, you do?
Yeah.
Might have to get you a link. I've been looking for a coach.
Yeah.
Thai,
oh, yeah. Phenomenal guy. And from there, he coaches me. I'm not doing the same thing on the bag without him by myself. I'll hit the bag. I'll look around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when he's there, I'm cranking that bag. But from there, he gives me that. So from there, coaching. But then you can go into self-knowledge. You can look into articles. You can even buy, if you want to take it to that extent. You can buy books based off of nutrition training. It's always out there, but now it's what you want. You remember we were talking about criticism, all that? It's what you want to hear or what will benefit you the most. It hits different. So if Chris Bumstead says something, and if someone that no one really knows, they're saying the same thing, oh, Chris Bumstead said it better, so let's go with that. Let's just run with that. Because you admire him. You admire
it resonates with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he obviously is the best in the world.
Yeah.
I haven't been tapped into the bodybuilding.
But most people know who he is. He's a household name.
My friend's little brother, he's like, oh, is that C-Bum, bro? And I look at him like, how do you know Chris Bumstead? And then he's like, bro, it's C-Bum. Not Chris Bum, it's C-Bum.
C-Bum, yeah.
I'm looking at him like, oh, whatever you say, kid.
That's
whatever
funny.
you say. But he's made it known that he was the best in the game.
Yeah.
So if you want to take from the best in the game, take with the best in the game.
Yeah, I like that. So whoever you look up to, admire,
exactly.
You can listen to them. You don't have to take it for fact, but you can learn.
Go ahead and put it into your program. Give it a try. The worst thing that can happen, one set, it does not work. You just go back to what you know.
Or just be open off for to take information.
Open-minded. That's all.
Like, hey, I'm overweight. I'm unhappy. Rather than watching this soap opera for the 50th time, let's start consuming stuff that might add value. Just
diving in instead of stepping in. People will be like, oh, I'm going to go on a run. I haven't ran in 15 years. Go on a walk first.
Walk outside the house.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Walking outside for 15 minutes will change your life. My best friend, my manager, he had lower back pain. He was bigger set dude. He's lost over 100 pounds as well. And from there, he couldn't walk for more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Gotcha.
Because his lower back.
Yeah.
But now he's doing laps. We took a trip, took his nephews to Disneyland. Oh man, he's running laps. He's up, in and out. He's able to maneuver. He's lost all that weight. On top, he's built strength. So he's moving.
That's interesting. I'm learning guitar right now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like 6 months in. When I first started, my back's cramping up, my hands cramping, I'm fatiguing. And the more I do it, my back starts to hurt less.
It's just
my hand starts to be able to hold stronger.
Yeah.
I'm able to play better for longer.
Exactly.
And it was literally baby steps.
That is all.
And at first it's frustrating, but you just gotta edit. I had to tap out. I would literally play for an hour and like, I'm tapped out.
Exactly.
My hand does not have any strength left to continue playing.
Exactly.
So I like that. It kind of applies to anything in your life.
Oh, yeah.
And it could just be reading, just like you said, just reading 10 pages a
Just
day.
10 pages.
Whether it takes you an hour or not.
I got through the 10 pages.
Just get it done.
You know what I mean? Or even if you don't want to take, if you want to take another approach, ebooks. We have ebooks that are available.
I live and breathe audiobooks.
Well, what? Cardio for 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes of that ebook already in your head. If you need to rewind it, go for cardio even more.
I cannot stress audiobooks enough.
Oh, yeah.
I would honestly say do about 4 hours of listening every single day.
That's
audiobooks. And I cannot tell you how many books I get through a year, and I cannot tell you how well-rounded and more intelligent it helps you become.
That's all it is. It's like,
and not in an arrogant or in a cocky way. It just makes you a more all-rounded person.
Oh yeah.
Before I open my mouth, I don't have my own thoughts anymore. I'm thinking about what I learned yesterday, what I watched here, what this person said, how this person dealt with this situation.
Yeah.
It makes you such a, I don't know. I just cannot stress self-education.
It's so important because from there, it's just like, no matter what the topic is, you understand a little bit and you're eligible to give not an opinion, but just, is that about, we'll say soccer. Oh, the World Cup is this, based off of someone you never met. You can open up a conversation like that. Are you into soccer? The World Cup is here. And then you dive deeper into that. It's no matter what knowledge it is.
I started something recently, which I'm doing for myself, and it's using YouTube and spending like about an hour a day just diving into a person or a subject. And it's like, it was like Vincent van Gogh, and then it was Charles Darwin, and then it was dinosaurs. And then I was like, did slavery exist in England? Started researching that, which led to another rabbit hole.
Subdivision.
And it's just making me so diverse and educated on so many things.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And I got so much good information, and I've learned so much, and I got better perspective. And it's not for any other reason but besides myself. But I think it's going to help with the podcast, because if you bring up something about Korea, maybe I've just watched something about Korea, and now I've got more.
Or maybe now that
like
Korea's in your head.
Seoul is the capital.
Exactly.
It's a good starting point.
So you could say someone else comes on that's Korean. You could be like, so from there I did extensive research because so-and-so came in, Harry came in.
Yeah, and you might spark something in me, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of like the journaling coming up a couple of times. I want to go in depth in journaling.
I believe
now.
Ricky and Bray do journaling.
Ricky got Bray into it, supposedly.
Oh, okay, yeah. So right there.
There you go.
And then who knows? If I see you in 2 weeks, I'll go ahead and go into journaling.
We're both going to be doing
it. So
and then hopefully someone out there is.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a domino effect. You just little things. So
no, I love it, man.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was a pleasure. Thanks for being here so quick and quick turnaround. Of course. That's amazing.
This is amazing.
I love people who just like see an opportunity and they snap it up.
Yeah.
And you just see
procrastination is poverty. You know what I mean? So
procrastination gets you nowhere.